welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back to The Wave, the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast. Adam, good day.
Good day to you, sir. How are you?
And to you. How hast thou?
That was great, thank you. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, very good.
Why are you being all posh?
I don't know, it just sort of started like that.
It was weird because we were talking before we started recording, and then you went normal. And now we've started recording. You've gone all Roman time, not Roman times, Victorian times on me.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone Roman. I start speaking Latin or something.
Is that how does the Romans speak Latin?
Yes. It's not a period of history I'm familiar with.
Most men think about the Roman Empire all the time.
That was a big trend,
wasn't it? That's what people said.
Yeah.
Good week.
I tell you what, just before we get on to that, the most annoying thing, I don't understand it. I'm going to say this because I'm old.
Yep.
And I'm not down with the kids. But I have noticed during this week, when I've been occasionally on social media, that there's this new thing, and it just says, look between something and something on the keyboard.
Right.
And I don't understand it.
What is it? What we're looking between?
Well, any two letters.
Right.
And it's like, I don't understand.
I don't understand either.
No. And that's like, it's all over the X.
Oh.
It's like a new thing.
Do you think there's any young people listening?
Probably not.
If there are, can you let us know what that means? Because you've confused me now. Look between the two keys on the keyboard.
Yeah. And it will have two letters. So it will say, look between, I don't know, I can't see a keyboard.
You can. There's one literally just there.
Y and I.
You.
Yeah. And it will be a reference to.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Kids are weird, aren't they? Were we weird?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Well, we were weird.
Outside.
Without social media. Yeah, exactly. Like, kept my weirdness out in a field in the summer.
True, very true.
Because I had to.
Because we weren't allowed in the house.
Yeah, at the risk of going really old man yells at cloud. So. Anyway, what was the question? Yeah, fine.
I can't remember. Good?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, all good.
Everybody well? Family well?
Well, yes.
Good. Glad?
Well, no, my eldest daughter's got wax in her ear.
Oh, no.
So we're having to put olive oil in it.
Oh.
So
that sounds rank.
Sucks to be
Does it, like, pour out?
What?
The wax?
There's been
the oil?
A couple of deposits on the pillow in the morning. She had an ear infection, and this is
bless her.
Kind of, yeah. I think she feels a bit underwater.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than earache. Earache and toothache are the worst too, I think.
Yeah, because it makes your whole body hurt.
It does, yeah. Because you can't concentrate on anything else.
Booms around your head, doesn't it?
You can't concentrate on anything else either, can you?
Yeah.
No, I feel for her.
So apart from the twice daily application of olive oil, everyone's okay.
That must be horrible, like putting oil in your ear. I don't like the sound of that. I'm good, yeah. Nothing new to report, really. I'm just living the dream.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
You seem full of beans.
I am quite energetic today.
I've pumped you full of beans.
We've got a film to talk about this week.
We have. We'll be back here on Thursday, won't we? On this very feed to talk about a British film.
We will indeed.
Not set in Britain. The Utah Cabin Murders.
But very much filmed in Britain.
I mean, never have I considered before how much Utah looks like Wales.
Absolutely, it really does.
The green valleys of Utah. But
yeah, it was fun.
This is where we are.
I feel like we're gonna have some fun with that film.
Yeah,
we always do. But
we do.
The Utah Cabin Murders is the movie that we'll be talking about on Thursday.
You've got a few more days
before
that episode comes out. If you want to check that movie out,
go and check it out
before you hear our episode. It's only 80 minutes long.
Yeah, just over.
Yeah,
go and check it out.
And last week we watched a French movie.
We did.
The Lost Patient.
The Lost Patient,
which is now our new table topper.
It sits as top of the season 10 stream table.
It does. Have you had any more reflections on that?
No, I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think it was the correct placement at the time.
I think
I still think it is now.
Yeah. I think it's the best acting this year. This season, sorry.
Yeah.
I think
it's the best film.
I think it's the best package.
Yeah. As an all-rounder,
yeah,
I think it deserves to be at the top of the table. That being said, I think it is beatable.
I agree.
We will see if it's still a top at the end of the season.
Yeah.
See what Robin gives us.
Indeed. Good. So,
indeed.
Do we have a question of the week?
I don't know, do we?
I have it, I think.
I was hoping so.
It is a very simple, and some would say back to basics question of the week. Just what I would just like to know, would you rather have an incredibly annoying high-pitched voice or a really deep, manly voice? And we're talking like super deep.
I used to know somebody with a really high-pitched voice.
Or basically only dogs can hear you.
Yeah. And he was known as the guy with the really high-pitched voice.
Was he?
So
high-pitched voice guy?
Yeah.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
I think people called him Squeaky.
Really?
Which is quite insulting.
That is a bit insulting.
But, so yeah, I wouldn't want to be known as that. And you could get all sorts of work with a deep voice.
I suppose
you could like voiceover
you
work.
Could do
you can do movie trailers.
The new trailer guy. Yeah, that's true. I hadn't thought of that. But
how deep are we talking?
So deep.
Like unhearable
like
deep. Do you ever get where somebody's voice hits you at a resonance that you just can't hear it properly?
Yeah.
And I get that. Yeah. Do you remember True Blood?
Yes.
The main guy in True Blood, I can't remember his name. I just can't hear his voice.
Can't
Whenever he talks, I either can't hear him or just can't concentrate on him because it's just the resonance that just doesn't work for me.
It's just not attuned to your brain.
It's just not. It's weird.
I think having a deep voice is probably the right answer because you might be able to monetize it.
Yes.
But if it's super deep, imagine you're just like, I don't know, you're going to order a coffee and some dude's like,
yeah,
taking your coffee order and he's got this super deep voice. It'd be like, that's how people get spotted though,
isn't it? It is, yeah. It's as long as it's hearable.
Take my card.
As long as it's hearable by the human ear.
It's the deepest voice you've ever heard. That's what we're dealing with.
Who else got the deepest voice you've ever heard? I don't even know. It's got to be a wrestler, isn't it?
Barry White.
Barry White, good one. Deeper than that.
Yeah.
Cool. I think it has to be.
Isaac Hayes when he was being chef. I don't know.
Joe Pasquale's done all right out of life, though.
Yeah, true.
I think he puts that on.
Yeah.
Deep.
I think
I
would also go deep.
I've heard that about you.
I will go deep.
Good question.
Yeah. I think it's
the only answer. Nobody wants an annoying, squeaky voice.
No, and it's wrong, but it's very difficult to take someone seriously, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if I can do effects on this podcast, or I'll just make yours really squeaky for a few minutes. I'll see if I can.
I'll take one for
and
the
I'll go
team.
deep.
Yeah, you go deep, I'll go.
And we'll see which one's the most
high.
annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. If you will have heard that by now, if I could. Right, shall we get on with the wave and do some Netflix news?
I genuinely can't wait to find out. Yes, let's do some news.
Cool.
So, let's start this week with I feel like a rare interview from the boss of Netflix UK.
Oh, okay.
Who I'm trying to think in the recesses of my mind, and this isn't a name that I can remember ever really mentioning on this show, which kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
And that is a lady called Anne Mensah.
No, I don't. That name's not familiar to myself.
Do you think she's in Mensa?
Yeah, probably. She's got to be clever, isn't she?
Yeah, she must be.
She's like the boss of Netflix UK.
And it's her surname.
And it's her surname. She's probably in charge of it. She probably runs it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe she's like vice president of Mensa on the side.
She can't be vice president of Mensa and head of Netflix UK.
Why not?
She's not the Rock. She's not like never stops working.
Anyway, she has been talking this week at the Creative Cities Convention.
Oh, okay.
Now, doesn't that sound like a whale of a time?
It does.
And she has been saying that Netflix UK will not be changing its strategy or its commissioning course when the streamer stops reporting quarterly subscriber numbers.
Okay.
She has said that there is no secret for producers when they pitch to Netflix, and this will remain the same. She said, I can't stress enough that our commissioning strategy is simply about how you get audiences to press play and stay.
Right.
According to her.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
She said, before I arrived here, the idea was how we could put in place a team that is authentically of the UK and show you that Netflix has the absolute commitment to staying here long term. For that, our content remains utterly key. She would not be drawn on whether Netflix UK had been handed a budget boost given the recent successful financial results.
Right.
I always think, yeah, they probably have got a budget, but again, if the pitch is there for we need
some of the best content on Netflix is British.
$8 million to make whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's there. She said the slate for Netflix UK is set for the next couple of years.
Oh, right, okay.
I know what the slate looks like this year, next year, and pretty much for the year after that as well. We commission for years ahead in order to be part of the UK landscape.
I suppose I have to, because things don't get made quickly, do they?
Yeah.
Some things do.
She also said that as long as she is in charge of Netflix UK, she will be backing the landing all episodes in one go.
Okay. She's a fan.
Yeah, she sort of said, we know some shows on Netflix might transmit weekly, but all of mine will land in one go. Audiences needed to be in control of what we are giving them, empowering them to watch what they watch and when they want to watch it.
I think that's a fair comment. I think I'm landing more on the side of that as the years go by.
Yes, but it doesn't mean, because I'm finding, as I'll talk about on one of the things I've watched this week, that I'm actually enjoying giving something a bit of space. And that doesn't always happen.
No.
But sometimes, if you have really got into something, sometimes you do. You binge. But there are times I've gone, I'm going to...
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
A bit of time to myself and watch this. And because I'm the only person watching this program, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, I like being able to
watch it at your own pace. But you can do that regulate. Even if it's all there. You could still you can still self-regulate. I was watching something on Apple TV recently, and then I realised that I hadn't watched it for a few weeks.
Right.
Because maybe I'd forgotten about it.
Okay.
And it wasn't key in my mind because it was coming out weekly.
Yeah.
I hadn't remembered that I'd been watching it. If that makes sense.
Okay. Because you'd not
moved on to other stuff. I'm not devoted to it. So I think the more and more I go, the more I'm falling on the side of things coming out all at once.
Okay.
Let me choose when I watch it.
Sure.
We just said we've never heard of that woman before. I recognise this photo of her.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen that picture before.
Probably.
So. Next.
Netflix has also announced this week that Steve Carell is coming back to work for the streamer after 2 seasons of Space Force.
Yep.
And in fact, he will be reuniting with Tina Fey as they were together in Date Night, which was a reasonably successful movie about 15 years ago, I think.
Right. I'll take your word for that.
They are both going to co-star in The Four Seasons.
Right. Is it about hotels?
It's about pizzas.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Well, we got excited then.
It is an adaptation of a 1981 feature film.
Okay.
Which the original starred Alan Alda. This adaptation is co-created by Tina Fey and her fellow 30 Rock contributors Lang Fisher and Tracy Wigfield.
I used to love 30 Rock. What a great show.
Tracy Wigfield loves the Saturday Night.
Yes. Great joke.
30 Rock's great. Yeah.
30 Rock is great.
Yeah. Production will start later this year, and the concept
I was going to ask you if you've got a synopsis
for it revolves around 3 couples who take vacations together each season.
Each season?
Yeah, and it explores the changes in the group dynamic when one of the couples splits up and the man brings a much younger woman on subsequent trips.
Ooh.
No other casting news apart from those 2. But the fact that it's got some...
We need at least 7 more people.
Yes. 30 Rock crew behind it gives... gives us hope, I guess. That this is going to be a decent adaptation.
Absolutely. I wonder if we'll get any of the cast of 30 Rock in it. One, definitely not.
I was just going to say...
But there was more than that person in 30 Rock.
Why not?
Next.
Also revealed this week is news of a casting addition to Wednesday.
Oh, right.
Season 2. And that is the fact that Steve Buscemi is stepping aboard.
Whoa. That works, doesn't it?
It feels like a good fit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So does the fact that Tandy Newton is joining the show as well for season 2. Variety broke the story, but did not have any more details in terms of who they are playing or the size of their roles. But Steve Buscemi feels like, that great fit for that universe.
Into that universe, yeah.
Yeah. So
cool. When the next season of Wednesday is going to be huge.
Do you think it's going to
challenge
at the top of the all-time charts?
I don't think it challenges Squid Game.
I think it can. I think it can get number 2.
Yeah, I think it can get number 2.
I think it can blow past everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Squid Game was a perfect storm, and I don't know if anything will ever touch it. No. But I feel like Wednesday is the one thing that could get close. Exciting.
I
like that.
Transfer news.
Okay.
What do they say on like sports channels? The transfer window has slammed shut.
All right.
I don't think we have such a thing in the world of streaming. But news this week that for One Piece Season 2, which we already knew had been renewed.
Great show. Great show One Piece was.
A new co-showrunner is coming aboard.
Oh, okay.
To join the current team. And that is Joe Trace, who has recently been working for Disney Plus on its extremely popular Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Another great show.
He is moving to Netflix to help work on One Piece.
Okay.
Instead.
Excellent.
He will work with Matt Owens, who ran One Piece for season 1.
Why do we need 2 showrunners?
Shift in dynamics, isn't it?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Filming for season 2 of One Piece starts in June and will premiere on Netflix in 2025. Trace said in a statement, "I have been lucky to work on big adaptations of several beloved series, and they don't come bigger or more beloved than One Piece. I am a huge fan of Oda-san's incredible imagination, and I was blown away by what the live-action team created in Season 1. So it is a dream and a joy to come aboard the Going Merry as it enters the grand line for an even more giant Season 2.
Season 2 of One Piece could be like great fun. Yeah. You just go all out with it. So we need a new showrunner on Percy Jackson, co-executive producer on Percy Jackson.
Which has also been renewed.
Oh, cool. That's not surprising either. That show was massive.
Yeah.
Great show.
Now, I am not suggesting...
That was very serious. Now.
I am suggesting, I take it back, that this might only be happening because of the success, both critically and commercially, of Shogun.
Yeah, I've heard that's really good. I've not seen it yet.
I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Any good?
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Sweet.
I think I did mention this.
I think you did, yeah, actually.
Whenever that week was.
Why did you only do 2?
I've just not. It's been because going back to what we started. It was coming out weekly,
and you've forgotten about it.
Not forgotten about it. I've just not
got to it.
Yeah,
fair.
But no, it's great, and I will finish it off.
What's it on? Disney Plus.
Over here, Disney Plus.
Cool.
I think it's might be an FX show.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is an FX show.
Yeah. Anyway, Netflix, influenced potentially by that success, have announced that they have commissioned Last Samurai Standing.
Okay. Is this a reality show?
It is not a reality show.
Damn it.
It is an adaptation of a 2021 Naoki Prize-winning novel.
Right.
An intriguing tale of survival and honor set in the late 19th century. The Last Samurai Standing takes place at the Tenryuji Temple in Kyoto. Come nightfall, 292 skilled warriors gather, lured by the promise of the grand prize of 100 billion yen.
Wow. I don't know how much that is, but it seems like a lot.
The warriors have one goal, win the money. But our protagonist, Shijiro Saga, has another to save his ailing wife and child.
Excellent.
So, yes.
That all sounds really good, except for the title.
I had the same reaction. I thought they're doing some sort of reality show where people are going to beat the shit out of each other with swords and sticks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that title.
No, it's a period samurai story, just like Shogun.
Cool. Definitely.
But on Netflix.
Next.
On to some movie news.
Movie news.
And it has been announced this week. News seems to be coming thick and fast about 28 years later.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
The first casting announcements. Jodie Comer, not James Bond, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Ralph Fiennes have all signed up for Danny Boyle's movie.
Big names.
We did mention, didn't we? So Danny Boyle's directing part 1, and talks are underway with Nia DaCosta to direct part 2.
It does indeed. I wonder if we'll get like cinema re-releases of the first 2. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I don't know where they're available currently. It feels like they're off the radar a bit to me.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah. Voldemort and Kick-Ass in the same movie.
I'll just have a quick look where they are for you. Bear with me 1 second.
Oh, as in, where could you want to watch them if one wanted to get?
One could watch 28 weeks later on Disney Plus.
Okay.
But 28 days later is not available on any streaming service.
That is strange.
That is really strange. That will also change very soon.
I'm sure. I'm sure it will.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot to be excited about there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're
potential.
Great
that's a good cast. That's a much starrier cast on paper than the first 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Which obviously made stars of a lot of people.
It did. Well, it reinvented the zombie genre.
Yeah.
Without those movies, things like The Walking Dead don't exist.
Yeah, well, can't. There's a downside to everything, isn't it?
You know what I
mean. It has also been announced this week in further movie news that Al Pacino and Dan Stevens have both signed up to star in a new horror movie called The Ritual.
Okay.
Empire magazine reporting this. They also noted quite facetiously that go to IMDb and see how many movies are called The Ritual.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Because it's about 3 million.
I'm pretty sure there's hundreds of movies called that.
And
they all make me think of like exorcism movies.
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I imagine they're all the same.
One always pops into my mind. I can't remember what it's called, but it's this kind of movie where I'm sure it was a young Heath Ledger. He had quite a successful this sort of movie.
I do, yeah.
Which will come back to me, but anyway. Dan Medell will be directing this one though, and Pacino and Stevens will follow up. They will play a pair of priests. Dan Stevens' character questioning his faith, and Pacino's character trying to overcome a troubled past as they shove their differences aside to try and help a young woman.
Right.
Who is possessed, basically.
Yeah, so an exorcism movie, like exactly what I said.
This is due to be in cinemas next year.
Okay. Are you thinking of the Sin Eater?
Yes.
That's
he was like a young priest, wasn't he? Yeah. Doing this sort of thing.
There's hundreds of exorcism movies out there.
Yes.
I imagine there's hundreds just called The Ritual.
Yeah. In news I didn't realise was happening.
Okay.
I feel like I missed this one whenever it happened. Steven Spielberg, back in 2020, was quite a lot happened that year.
Yeah, it was a big year.
To try and get myself out of it.
It was a big year.
There was other stuff going on in the world. In 2020, nevertheless, Steven Spielberg purchased the rights to the Thursday Night Murder Club book series. This is Richard Osman's very successful.
Very.
So I've read the first one.
I've got the first one. I haven't read it yet.
I really disliked.
Really?
My wife didn't. She bought it.
Yeah.
Because she loves like a crimey type thing, and it's a load of people, older people in an old people's home solving crime. I was like, she loves like Murder She Wrote and all that sort of thing.
She does.
Right up her street. She couldn't make it past a few chapters. He said,
really?
It's boring, I can't get into it. I was like, right, I'll give it a go. I'm going to see it through. I do not understand what all the fuss is about.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. It was bang average, I thought. And this is wildly successful, this book.
Yeah. There's loads now. There's like 4 of them now.
Yeah.
4 of them now?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Anyway, Steven Spielberg bought the rights to the books in 2020.
Yep.
And it is coming out of development phase. So we don't know who's on board to direct, produce.
Okay.
But there is some casting news. And it's quite the trio.
Okay. Well, it's got to be older people if they're all in an old people's home.
Pierce Brosnan.
Older.
Helen Mirren.
Older.
And Sir Ben Kingsley.
Oh, wow. 2 of this parish.
Yes.
2 of them have been on this show.
If anyone isn't sure, the books feature the 4 members of the titular society who decide to fill their otherwise tranquil lives in a peaceful retirement village with a little more fun, meeting weekly to discuss unsolved crimes. But their harmless hobby takes on a whole new dimension when a local property developer is discovered murdered with a mysterious photo next to the body, and the club finds themselves trading cold cases for a very hot one.
Did you say 4 people?
Yes.
We've only got 3 cast members.
So far, yes.
Shall we cast the 4th?
Okay.
Who do you want? Who fits it? Is it you've read it? Is it a female or a male, the 4th one?
It's another female.
Well, it's Judi Dench then, isn't it?
She's too old.
Oh, really?
Well, no, I mean...
I always think of Judi Dench and Helen Mirren as the same, but they're probably
Judi
not.
Dench can't work much now. She's nearly blind, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So...
Who else is old?
Who was the Queen?
Oh,
from Harry Potter.
Yeah, Imelda Staunton.
Imelda Staunton.
Good shout. Somebody was in my head then, but now it's gone now. You said who was the Queen. It shot it out of my head.
Oh, we could go random. Oh, no, she's busy, though. I've not got this on the news. I was thinking, like, you just totally stunt cast the 4th one.
Yeah.
Give it, like, Pamela Anderson. But she's just been... have you heard this week? She's been cast with Liam Neeson in the Naked Gun remake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So is the wrestler Cody Rhodes.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm the Naked Gun movie.
So he's going away for a little while, is he? What about Jamie Lee Curtis?
Perfect.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Perfect. Oh, no. Oh, what about one of Brosnan's Bond girls?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Just to have a little thread there.
Go on. I don't know any of Brosnan's Bond girls.
Famke Janssen.
Okay. I'm up for that. She old?
She old enough? Young. Yeah. I can't. Denise Richards. That was one of his, wasn't it?
Yeah. She's old. We need to stop before we dig ourselves into a hole. I wonder if hopefully the films will be better than the books.
Also,
in your opinion.
Just like Richard Osman,
yeah.
He's already a tremendously successful TV producer.
Yeah.
Then he got that pointless gig.
Yeah.
No, before that. Then he got that pointless gig, did that for you, tremendously successful.
Yeah.
Then he writes these books.
Yeah.
That guy must be sitting on a
he's got House of Games as well.
Yeah.
On every day on BBC Two.
Yeah.
A great show. Yeah, that guy's rich, man. That guy's rich. It's not a movie to Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You guys got some counting.
I bet he didn't have to barely pitch it either.
No, I bet he didn't.
So, this is a news story, and I can tell from your face.
I've just read the headline.
This is real.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes, and it is a news story about a forthcoming graphic novel. But I wanted to talk about it because 2 people are coming together to create what they are terming a new IP universe.
I feel you need to read
How
that.
buzzwordy is that?
Very buzzwordy. I feel like you need to read this headline verbatim.
I will do.
Because it's one of the most mental sentences I've ever read.
The reason I wanted to point it out is one of these 2 people is very much a cinema person.
Yes.
And new IP universe makes me think the long-term goal is we might have a movie about this.
Yeah.
I will read the headline.
100%.
Which comes from Games Radar.
Okay.
And it says, Post Malone and Michael Bay are creating a new IP universe about an 18-wheeler from heaven that fights zombies in medieval Europe.
Instantly, I'm on board. I'm not a big Michael Bay fan, but
That's right.
Yes, please.
Musician Post Malone and filmmaker Michael Bay are pairing their talents for a new IP universe which will launch with an as yet unnamed graphic novel through Vault Comics. The untitled story, which Post Malone describes as badass and Michael Bay describes as just what the graphic world needs right now, is set in a fictionalized version of medieval Europe where the only thing standing in the way of a horde of zombies so massive it could engulf the entire continent is an 18-wheeler truck sent straight from heaven.
Somebody's on something. I don't even know how that works. I don't even understand any of those words.
You do. You know all the words.
I know all the words, not in that order.
Well, we've got to follow this one.
Yeah, 100%. I will be all over this one.
Malone also said, I am so pumped to share this badass story with the world, and I couldn't ask for better partners than Michael Bay and Vault to help bring this story to life, he told Deadline. I love working with talented people, and Post Malone is incredibly gifted, said Michael Bay. I am excited to work with him on such an intriguing idea, and when you add Vault Comics to the mix, this raises the bar to another level.
Absolutely. I mean, Michael Bay's got experience with badass 18-wheelers.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that one.
And I will say penultimately, but really the final bit of movie/streaming news is an update on Mike Flanagan's adaptation of The Life of Chuck.
Okay.
Which is pretty much ready to go.
Sweet.
According to one of the stars, that being David Dasmalchian.
Dasmalchian, great name.
Who you may recognise from being in loads of stuff. But, he was in Suicide Squad recently. He was the guy with the spots.
Oh, yeah, okay.
For he is in said adaptation, The Life of Chuck.
Is he Chuck?
I do not think so, no.
Okay.
No, Chuck is Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, I remember
that. If you remember, the synopsis is that Chuck travels back in time to watch his life play out in reverse order after he dies. Having passed away from a brain tumour at 39, Chuck walks back through major events before finding himself once again living in a supposedly haunted house. Dasmalchian said, it's beautiful. You think, oh, Mike Flanagan, Stephen King, this is going to be the most horrifying, terrifying thing you've ever seen. But it's not. It's beautifully rendered, heartfelt, dramatic, and the performances are amazing. We already knew that Mark Hamill was in this.
Yep.
We already knew that Tom Hiddleston is in it.
We did.
As well as David Dasmalchian is Matthew Lillard.
Oh, really?
Back from wherever he's been.
Where's he been?
Doing Finder's Fee in 2001. Karen Gillian.
Yeah.
Katie Seagal.
No.
I think we already know
Standard,
that. Yeah. Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Oh, okay.
Harvey Guillen, for any fans of What We Do in the Shadows out there. As well as Rahul Kohli and Standard. Jacob Tremblay.
Standard. Oh, I can't wait for this.
Does not yet have a release date, but
it's ready to go. So
has finished post-production.
Do we know where it's heading? Is it heading cinema way?
Yes. Oh, well, it certainly is in the States. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to. I've read it, but I'm gonna read it again before it comes out.
We'll it's a short story. Yeah,
it's a short story. Yeah,
the original.
Yeah. I have read it. I just need to brush up on it, I guess.
It's Flanagan's sort of last thing before he heads to Amazon, as in his last. It's
before his exclusivity deal kicks in.
Yeah, that's all the movie news.
Sweet,
but
okay.
I don't have a game or anything this week.
Right.
I have another piece of news.
Okay.
I read this. I don't know if I want you to open it.
I'm not going to click on it.
So I read this piece of news. You might have heard the news story,
right?
Because I have seen it in a couple of places, but it's not often I would say I read a great bit of journalism, but this article
not very often. No, especially not on the website that you've got it from.
I think this article is fantastic. So I might actually read. I might not read the whole thing verbatim, but I'm going to read some of it.
Okay.
Now this is a story.
All about how.
Which has been written by I'll give her full credit because I think it's brilliantly written. Caroline Lowbridge on BBC News.
Okay.
Out the East Midlands, so not far from from our good selves.
Oh, we're in it.
It's a story about a 9-year-old British boy who, in the sort of thing that does make you proud to be British, has won a European Championship.
Nice. In what?
A 9-year-old British boy has won a European Championship with his uncanny impression of a seagull.
Right, okay. I have not seen this, but
you haven't? Okay. No. Cooper from Chesterfield in Derbyshire travelled to the Belgian coastal town of Dieppe to compete in the EC gull screeching competition.
Right.
He originally started doing seagull impressions after being nipped by one while he was eating a tuna sandwich.
Oh my God, he's like Spider-Man, but for seagulls.
He wanted to become Seagull Boy, like when Peter Parker became Spider-Man after being bitten by a spider.
Oh my God, I genuinely didn't know that I was going to say that.
I feel like they are a really nice animal. I like them because of their noise, said Cooper.
Good for Cooper. I fucking hate them.
Sometimes they can be a bit scary, and I'm still a bit wary of eating at the beach. So that's why I eat in a small tent.
Oh, bless him. He carries his little tent around with him.
The last meal I had at the beach was an ice cream. Cooper's mum, Lauren, said it was initially annoying when he started doing seagull impressions.
I can imagine.
But then they realised he was really good at it. People would start to turn round, she said, and look for the seagull. The family heard about the competition from a random man who overheard Cooper doing impressions at a soft play centre and suggested he could compete. He scored 92 points out of a possible 100.
Jeez.
He is very good at
seagull impressions.
This meant he won the juvenile category and had the highest point score in the whole competition of any competitor.
Wow. He's like the best in the world at it. He is Superman.
The other categories were for adults and also for colonies. What do you think the colony section is?
Like doing loads of seagulls all at the same time?
Yeah, a group of people. I now want to go to the European Seagull Screeching
I can't think of anything more irritating. But
I will just read this final bit because I like it. I just think it's a brilliant article. Cooper took his lucky mascot with him, a small model seagull, which he calls Stephen. Steven Seagal, like the actor Steven Seagal.
Love it. What a legend.
His parents and grandparents were there to support him, as was his sister Shelby, who had a big cone of chips made from foam.
That kid is made for life now, surely.
Yeah.
Have we got footage of him being a seagull?
There's plenty of photos. That's the medley one.
That's a cool medal.
Yeah.
I want to hear his impression.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I'll put it in.
Boy.
If I can find it, I'll put it into the episode.
We'll have a look.
I'll cut it in.
We'll have a look.
Good for him. I love it when kids achieve.
It's just nice to hear a well-written article with a nice sense of humour.
Yeah.
It really made me chuckle.
Proud to be British.
And yes.
And look, what's at the bottom of the screen?
Oh, yes.
Just randomly, there's a picture of a seagull just appeared on my screen.
Not a lot of things, mate. Actually, I don't think anything makes me proud to be British. But a boy winning a seagull sound competition with a Steven Seagal mascot would do it for me.
Good for him. What was his name?
Cooper.
Well done, Cooper.
Yeah.
Nick.
Hello.
Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've watched a couple of things.
Okay.
So I'm really up with the times, but I finally watched Poor Things this week.
The Emma Stone movie.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, it's... If there's a fine line between entertaining and artsy-fartsy bollocks...
This is the line.
This was right on the line.
It was, I agree.
I can see why it won a lot of awards.
Yeah.
Probably deserved.
Yes.
I enjoyed it far more than The Favourite, which was their last movie together, wasn't it? It was, yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and it looked beautiful.
I don't like arty-farty bollocks, but I don't think it quite
just
got
on
there.
the right
it was
side of it.
Just right for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Overall, I liked it.
She 100%
maybe a bit less fisheye lens.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. She 100% deserved that Oscar, though, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. She absolutely threw herself into that.
Yeah.
And then I have watched episodes 2, 3, and 4 of Fallout.
Oh, that's my next thing to start now.
I'm now halfway through it. I think it's incredible.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. I'm like, no one else is interested.
Oh, you're the only one watching it.
So I'm like, I've managed to find a bit of time. I'm just gonna sit, have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Watch this, and it's great. I think it's honestly, I've like I say, never played the games and have a vague understanding of the universe, but I just think it's great.
Cool.
So I can't wait to see what you think of it when you get to it.
Literally, I've finished what I was watching, so I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay.
And there's literally now my next thing to start.
Awesome.
So by this time next week, I'll have seen some of them. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. How about you?
You asked me that just as I was taking a
I
drink. I've watched 2 things this week. I watched a true crime documentary on Saturday night called What Jennifer Did.
Now, I know a bit about this, not the story or the documentary, but only because Netflix has admitted to using AI.
They have.
In some of the images within the documentary.
I didn't spot it. I knew it was there, so I don't know. I didn't spot it, but it's a really interesting story.
Okay.
Do you know this story? So it's very much like the film we watched last week. This family get massacred in their house. So the mother and the father.
That's this week.
Oh. No, last week. The Lost Patient.
Oh, the Lost Patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also this week. But yeah, no, I'm more thinking the Lost Patient style massacre. The mother and father get shot, and the daughter gets tied up and upstairs, and bad things happen.
Okay.
So they obviously the police don't know what's happened, and this documentary is all of the police interviews with this daughter,
right,
to try and piece together what's happened to this family. And it's really interesting watching her reaction, and she's obviously distraught this has happened.
Yes.
And then her dad wakes up.
Okay.
And then her dad tells his side of the story, and it absolutely does not correspond with Jennifer's side of the story. Okay. And I don't want to give anything away, but What Jennifer Did is a great title for this documentary. It was really good because it's not a great documentary, but they've got all the actual police footage,
right?
Or the interviews of her breaking down and lying all the way through, basically, and it's really interesting. I thought it was really good.
Oh, wow.
It's only an hour and a half long, but check it out. It's good. And then I think myself, like the rest of this entire country.
Oh, this is next for me.
I've watched Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's one of the best things Netflix have ever made, I think. It's right up there. They're advertising it as a dark comedy.
Yeah, it's not the vibe I'm getting.
Very much not a comedy.
Yeah.
Don't expect to go into
just because the guy who made it is a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Doesn't make this a comedy.
No. This is not a comedy. Episode 4 of this is one of the most dark episodes of anything I've ever seen.
Good God.
Episode 4 finished, and I was like, I'd planned to do a couple more after it.
Yeah.
I can't watch any more of this.
Oh, wow.
I literally was like, I need to watch something a bit
decompress.
lighter. I need to decompress. I need to step away from the TV. I watched 6 episodes in a row.
Oh, okay.
I literally watched, and then 2 the next day. I couldn't do it. It's only half an hour. I think the longest episode's 42 minutes. It's fucking brilliant. Everybody is getting so much hype, and it's deserved. The thing that makes it really interesting to me is that the guy who is in it is the guy who wrote it. Is the guy who experienced all this in real life. So he's reliving his pain to tell this story, and that's like unbelievable to me that he would put himself through that.
Yeah,
but 100% check Baby Reindeer.
Yeah,
it's a really special. It's a really important show as well because it tells a story that doesn't really get told very often about the male side of this crazy female coming after a man. It's usually the other way around, and it's scary how easy it started and how it could literally happen to anybody. And it's wonderful. It's
brilliant.
Really, really good. Definitely go and check it out. That's it. I don't think I've watched anything else.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Sounds like quite an intense viewing week.
It has been an intense. Yeah, that was an intense night. Watching 6 of those in a row. Right, what's next? Shall we do? It's nearly May.
It is nearly May.
Shall we do what's coming in May?
Let's have a look at that.
So, coming to Netflix UK in May. I think there's a lot coming on the 1st of May.
Okay.
And then not much for the rest of the month.
Right, okay. We're not spreading it out, are we?
No, absolutely not. So, stop me if you spot anything that you want to talk about.
I will.
Okay. Murder and Successful. That's a great show. Have you ever watched Murder and Successful?
I haven't, but that is the original series what was the... Oh, fuck, why do I start this thing? Murderville. That Will Arnett made for Netflix.
This was the inspiration show, the British version.
Is it Tom
Davis?
Davis?
Yeah. So basically get a celebrity guest star on every week and then improv their way through a crime.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Definitely check that out. It's really good.
Big one for me.
Go on.
Psych is arriving on Netflix.
I've never watched Psych.
8 seasons. It's a lovely show.
I've always thought I need to watch Psych.
It's an absolute perfect sort of... You don't have to give it your full attention, but it's funny and it's... it's... 2 guys get together, solve crimes. One of them's a fake psychic. His dad's an ex-police officer, and this is really well cast. It's funny. I want to know. I don't quite always trust these coming soon sites. That there are, I think, 3 TV movies as well.
Right. Okay.
That have come since Psych has finished.
Right.
And 2 of them have never been on over here. So I want to know if
they're coming as well.
Interesting.
We'll I remember. See. When Psych was first around, I remember watching the pilot episode, and then I watched the pilot episode of something else. I can't remember what it was in the same night.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm going to pick between these 2 shows, and I'll watch. And I picked the other one.
Yeah.
And so I never went back to Psych, and I can't remember what the other one was. That's really bugging me. I don't know. That might come back to me. But yeah, that's why I've never watched Psych, so I picked something over the top of it.
SWAT, which is, again, multiple seasons of...
Just says seasons.
It's the TV adaptation of that SWAT movie from 2003.
Yes, it is indeed.
Yeah.
Sweet. 24 Hours in Tesco.
Oh.
Coming on May the 2nd.
Oh, okay.
That's what happens in Tesco over 24 hours.
A Man in Full, a drama starring Jeff Daniels as a real estate mogul on the verge of bankruptcy who attempts to save his empire from the vultures circling over his fall from grace.
Ooh, sounds good. The Black Phone is coming on May the 3rd. I'm not sure it's not already there.
Okay.
It came up on my Netflix the other day. Now, it might have been a coming soon banner that I saw.
Possibly.
But it definitely came up on my screen the other day.
As does Bullet Train.
2 great movies.
Same day, Friday, May the 3rd.
Yeah. 2 great movies.
As does Unfrosted. This is Jerry Seinfeld's directorial debut.
Oh, is this the Pop-Tart thing?
It's the Pop-Tart movie.
Oh, okay.
It's got quite the cast.
It has. I remember we've talked about that a few times.
May the 6th, The Roast of Tom Brady, a stand-up comedy event.
Roasts are still a thing?
I thought that trend had passed, but obviously not.
Obviously not.
The Hatton Garden miniseries on May the 7th, British crime drama depicting the events of the infamous Hatton Garden robbery.
I feel like that was a BBC thing that's now gone onto Netflix.
I think you could be right. May the 8th, The Final, Attack on Wembley, documentary on the Euro 2020 final between England and Italy, which saw a group of football hooligans storm into Wembley Stadium.
That's also my birthday. Just putting it out there. I'd just like people to know that. Mother of the Bride, fancy this?
Oh, I bet someone in my house does. May the 9th, Mother of the Bride, a romantic comedy starring Brooke Shields as the mother of the bride, who learns her daughter is marrying the son of the man who broke her heart years before.
That must be awkward. Brooke Shields is a name that doesn't come up very often, isn't it?
She's done a couple of Christmas movies for Netflix the last couple of years.
She didn't do a lot, though, does she?
Mid-May looking a bit more light in terms of Netflix.
Something about Kevin Hart. A couple of children's animated series.
A documentary on May the 15th that arrives, Ashley Madison's Sex, Lies and Scandal, a documentary on the data leak of the Ashley Madison website, which destroyed lives and ruined marriages. Was that like a dating site?
No idea.
I think it was.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Big one, May the 16th.
Thanks. Bridgerton Season 3, Part 1.
Yep.
Romance is on the cards for Penelope Bridgerton. This is a relationship with a long-time friend. That's not her name in this. She's not a Bridgerton.
No, I was going to say, she can't be marrying somebody who's also a Bridgerton.
That's wrong.
Bloody stupid website.
Colin is the Bridgerton brother this year.
Okay. The 8th show is coming. That's got a very familiar synopsis.
A Korean drama that pits a group of contestants against each other for a vast cash grand prize. Oh, it's not ringing any bells.
No?
No. It must be different to Squid Game.
It even looks like it in that picture. Yeah, it must be. I suppose when a show's successful, though, even over here, when a show's successful, you get copies and imitations of the show. Yeah. That's obviously what's happened.
Just slightly different Korea. In one key way.
Yeah. Toughest Forces on Earth, Season 1.
Okay.
An in-depth look at the various military forces on Earth, their training, and the specialised equipment they use.
May the 22nd. Another big release, May the 24th, is Atlas. Sci-fi adventure starring Jennifer Lopez as an AI soldier who has determined the only way to end a terrible war is to end humanity.
Everybody's worst fears about AI coming true.
Yeah,
with Jennifer Lopez.
They look like Jennifer Lopez. As does the same day Jurassic World Chaos Theory, a animated sequel to Camp Cretaceous.
Okay.
May the 30th, Eric, a limited series starring Benedict Cumberbatch as Vincent, a grief-stricken father on the search for his missing son, accompanied by Eric, the monster that lives under his son's bed.
That sounds good, doesn't it? I like that idea.
That about rounds off
pretty much.
May.
There's quite a lot of stuff coming, but nothing there that really grabbed us, apart from the things that we said.
And we did say some things. Brilliant.
Excellent. How are we doing for time? I think we've about done a wave. Do you?
I think we have.
So, that's the end of this episode.
Seamless.
See that?
Yeah.
It's like, you wouldn't think I've been doing this for 5 years, would you?
Could I just ask a question?
Of course you can.
How long have you had new headphones?
About a month and a half.
Right, okay. Brilliant.
You know when that episode when my headphones stopped working and I couldn't hear anything at the end?
Yeah.
Then.
Okay. Fine. Can you please continue?
Thank you. So we've done a wave. We'll be back on Thursday to talk to you about a British horror movie.
Yes.
Horror movie set in Utah but filmed in Wales. And it is only 2.7 out of 10.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow.
So we will have a lot of fun with the Utah Cabin Murders. Come back on Thursday to hear us talk about that.
Cheers.
Bye.